All right. Nothing better than a Tuesday morning victory, sip of coffee. Vikings go to Chicago, break jinx. Kirk Cousins gets his big old win on Monday night. We all know that. But let's hop into what Mr. Coach Zimmer had to say after the game. Clearly in a pretty decent mood, which is always good to see. So Mike Zimmer comes out. One of the first things he says, Cousins played great, which is a pretty big deal because Mike Zimmer isn't always overly excited to give Kirk Cousins praise, especially early in the season when Cousins was struggling quite a bit. So last couple of weeks, Zimmer has made it a point to give Cousins some love. He said he played fast, was extremely accurate, did a very good job handling the game. So, and the stats show it. We all know Cousins had a pretty damn good game. So good to see. Did say it was not enough production in the game, but it was enough. So clearly the Vikings could have done better in Zimmer's eyes, at least. Yes, we got the win, but pretty much said it was a not great game, but good enough game. And I am just paraphrasing. It was a very physical game. He said someone asked, was it more intense? Was it more chippy? It seems like they're getting chippier out there. He didn't think it was more chippier than any other game. In fact, he made a couple references in practice as far as they're just kind of stepping it up. Competitions get a little more heated in practice, and that is carrying over into the games, which is great to see with such a young defense. As far as just 3 in a row, kind of played it off a little bit, didn't seem overly excited, didn't want to get too confident, but just said, they're practicing real hard, emphasizing not allowing completions in practice, just getting very competitive, and that's just heating up. He also mentioned that it was very, very loose in the locker room before the game, which is good to see. In fact, he was actually kind of smiling about it. So God knows what they were doing, but that is good to hear. Anthony Harris had a great quote to him. He said, Zimmer was getting very heated on the sidelines. And he said, Anthony Harris came up to him and just said, just call the game. We're going to win the game. So you love to see that in confidence, especially in a vet trying to settle Zimmer down and have the balls to actually go up to him and say that. You can tell Zimmer is just a player's coach when people can say that and not worry about getting their head bitten off. Harrison Smith, they asked him about Harrison Smith, basically just, he had a great game. Can you tell us more about it? And Zimmer, longest answer of the press conference. You can tell when someone talks about Harrison Smith to Zimmer, it's like there's sun rays in the background and there's angels singing because you can tell he loves them. Just went on and on and on. Very good player, great anticipation, understands the defense, very coachable, just a good all-around football player. Vision, anticipation, will do anything you ask him to do. Zimmer went on, and it's everything that from a fan standpoint is you think Harrison Smith is. Zimmer just kind of confirmed it, and he's confirmed it over and over. Harrison Smith is obviously going to go down as one of the best safeties the Vikings ever had. I hope his name and that 22 are up in that Ring of Honor someday because he deserves it. They did end on talking some special teams. Obviously, special teams was just a train wreck. Very, very rough couple of weeks. Someone asked, is there a lawn snapping issue? And he basically said sometimes he's good and sometimes he's not. So that one will be one to watch. I don't think Zimmer's going to put up with that very much longer, and I won't be surprised if they brought some guys in to push for his spot. So we'll see what happens there. And then, of course, they ended it. Is the special teams aging you? Just said yes. Ended the press conference with a smile. You could tell that it was, if the Vikings would have lost that game, I'm sure he would have had a much longer, more angrier answer. But it was yes. Hopefully that will be addressed. You could tell on the sidelines that they were getting he was getting very, very ornery at the special teams coach, at the special teams team. So that will be one to watch, but overall pretty laid back press conference. Some good answers, nothing overly crazy. Go check it out